A UFO is a flying object that you can't identify. A UFO does not equate to alien spacecraft. Or maybe. In this video you will meet 11 most common examples that are identified as UFO. I don't mind if it happens to you, you know. My mother still believes that her desktop computer is an espresso machine. I'm telling you to make you feel good, because there are worse people. My mother. Keep watching.
Preparing you for a ritual of awakening. This is Lion's Crown.
Number 11. Aircraft. Aircraft can easily be recognized by navigation lights and strobes. Even at high altitude, it can be observed with binoculars. And you see, for example, green wingtip lights and a white beacon and a flashing strobe. An airplane moves at a single pace and don't make sudden movements unless the pilot gets blinded by someone pointing their laser pointer. However, with a little help of the weather, you can hear the roaring engines. Number 10. The balloon. The balloon, it comes in all shapes and colors, and it is carried by the wind. So if there is a lot of wind, the balloon can make fast movements and change course rapidly. It can change shape and can blink too. Place a balloon on your hand and ask your friend to stand in front of you and blow away the balloon as hard as possible. Now, let your friend, when in the air, blow the balloon as hard as possible too. Now you know how influential the balloon really is. Let alone real wind that can blow much harder than your smoker's lungs, if you smoke of course. Number 9. Birds. Some birds fly high, 7,500 meters like the goose, and some low. Speaking of geese, it is not the TR-3B, but they fly in V formation. Some birds have a kind of reflective feathers underneath. The feathers can reflect moonlight or even street lights, giving you a panic attack, and you might think that you are about to be kidnapped by aliens. As soon as the leader changes direction, other birds of the pack see that they have to change course. Birds can change direction quickly. They can form strange patterns in the air that makes you dizzy. A figure of speaking. Number 8. Celestial object. You see something twinkling in the sky. It's quite bright. It's a planet or a star. A planet moves. This is noticeable with the naked eye, on a time scale of at least a few days or weeks. But planets do not twinkle like stars. They are a little bit different. That's because a planet is in fact a tiny slice in the sky, of which each point twinkles separately. What you see is possible Mars, Venus, or stars or other celestial objects. Sometimes it has a color. Number 7. Chinese lanterns. A Chinese lantern known as Kongming lantern is used to email your wish to God, at least in Taiwan. In China it had military purpose. Like the balloon, they fly with the breezes of the wind and can move very weird. It depends on the weather conditions of course. They are usually orange in color and they do sometimes flicker. You see them mainly in large groups. At a distance, they seem slightly elongated orbs, always consistent in color and shape, depending on the distance of course. Number 6. Drone. The problem with drones, they are very popular and are very misleading. Lion's Ground has learned that the lightning is extremely easy to adjust for night flights. Some drone owners intentionally resemble a UFO to cause people like you a trauma. But good news, you can recognize them. When they are close, you hear a mosquito sound. It changes color, and just like an airplane, it has a strobe or more than one. As soon as it changes direction, the drone makes a swinging move. 5. Lens flare or reflection. Glass and light, the ultimate cocktail for lens flares and reflections. So before you scream of joy that you have finally captured a UFO on camera, ask yourself why you have not seen it with your naked eyes. Number 4. Meteor. When can you make a wish? Well, when you see a meteorite. This is easily recognizable by a trail and supersonic speed. It flies in one straight line and it can produce a dazzling bright light before it dims. The meteor can also splatter in hundreds of pieces. Sometimes it gives a deafening loud bang that blows out all the windows just to sensationalize this story. Number 3. Missile or rocket launch. It flies at a great height in one straight line, leaving behind a long path of a cloud. Sometimes it is blue, and sometimes it is white, and sometimes the cloud turns into a strange spiral. What is it? A missile or a rocket launch, and if you're very lucky, you can witness a space spiral, the most weirdest thing you will ever see. Did you know that the heat produced by rockets in the first moments after liftoff could heat 85,000 homes in one day? Number 2. Satellites. Planet Earth is surrounded by thousands of satellites, and there's a good chance that you will spot a satellite. A satellite moves in one path and you can easily mistake it with a star or planet until you notice that it moves. It is sometimes yellow, but sometimes bright white. But the light can dim because of the clouds or maybe the angle of the antennas. Before we move to number 1, if you really value my work, I ask you to join the family on my website lionscrown.com. Choose your desired subscription and get access to exclusive content, downloads, community, monthly family online livestream, access to private Discord server, and choose your reward. Click the label or read the video description. Now, let's continue to number 1. Number 1. Skydivers with flares. You see a group of orbs emitting flashing yellow-orange light. And sometimes you see the orbs in formation, such as a triangle. No, not the Illuminati. It usually makes a zigzagging downwards movement. And don't you worry if you think this is again an alien invasion. Just take a giant chill pill. They are just a group of skydivers with burning flares. And sometimes, instead of burning flares, they wear cool suits.